Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, the School of Hard Knocks continued this past week and into the weekend. What I mean by that, the fishing has been very sporadic. Some guys have gone out and done really well, and the next day they go out and do nothing, or guys that are right next to them don't catch anything. It's been very sporadic, to say the least. And I think it has a lot to do with how clear the water has been in many areas, plus also the activity that's been on the ice has definitely affected the fishing. And then you also couple that with the weather. All those things coming together made it for a very tough week and weekend for many people across eastern South Dakota. Some of the lakes that did produce some walleyes up in the northeastern part of the state included Bitter, especially late afternoon and nighttime. Wabae, pretty tough there, but Indian Springs, Big Stone, both the dry lakes by Clark as well as Florence did okay, and then also Enemy Swim. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes produced some walleyes included Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Oakwood, Thompson, Sinai, Whitewood, Henry, and that's kind of tapered off quite a bit, 81 Ponds, Madison, Beaver, as well as North Island. Now, what jigs have guys been using? Again, as I said all year long, anything that has rattled has worked really well. But then also now this week it also includes the slab wraps, the rip and wraps have been really doing well, especially the size 3 and 4s. And then also the Lindy Rattle and Flyer, the jigging wrap, in other words, those swim bait lures that we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, and then also the Moonshine Shiver Minnow have done really well for the walleyes the past week, week and a half. And then as far as the panfish bite is concerned, again, the perch bite has been really affected by the weather and all the activity on the ice. But lakes like North Hazelton, Big Stone, Wabae, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Oakwood, Nelson Slough, as well as Madison, Sinai, and Beaver have all produced a few perch. And then down dealing with the crappie bite, it's kind of tapered off a little bit, but Ponset, Thompson, Beaver, and Alvin all have produced crappie. Now, what have guys been using to catch those crappies? As far as live bait is concerned, small minnows, maggots, and waxworms have all worked really well. Jig-wise, anything tungsten has worked well. Also, the Lindy Frosty Spoon as well as the Northland Forage Minnow Spoons have worked really well at the same time. And then also the Northland Tungsten Banana Jig. And speaking of waxworms and maggots, if you need it, don't hesitate to give us a call or order it online, and we'll ship it out to you as soon as possible. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about two things. First off is the electronics, the depth finders. A lot of times people will be saying, well, my depth finder is reading hot, and it seems like I can't figure out where my bait is, my jig is, and then also where the fish are at. Well, the best thing that you can do, folks, to alleviate that problem is to set the gain properly. And how do you do that? Well, you want to make sure that your transducer is flush with the bottom of the ice, and then turn your gain all the way to 0. And then you drop your jig down the hole, and as you're dropping that jig, you should be able to see that display showing your jig in the lightest color possible, typically green, all the way down to the bottom. If you lose sight of that jig before it reaches the bottom of the lake, turn the gain up until you see it green again. You don't want to turn it all the way up because that jig is going to turn red, and obviously you're going to be reading hot. So you want it to be the lightest color all the way down to the bottom of that lake. And so again, that's where you adjust that gain to avoid it being reading hot, and you'll be a lot happier and a lot easier to read when you're out there on that lake. The second thing that we're going to talk about is Bait Cloud. A lot of people have been asking me about that. It's a product that we sell here. That it's basically modern day chumming, if you will. This is legal in South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. The only state that it's not legal in is in Minnesota right now. But all you do is you drop it down in the hole, and it will actually aerate that body of water a little bit, and also put nutrients into that water where it will keep the fish around you a little bit longer. Not necessarily attracts the fish, but it will keep them underneath your hole a little bit longer. If you have any questions about the Bait Cloud product, stop on by here at the store. We'd be more than happy to show you. We have them in 3 different varieties, the walleye, the multi-species, as well as the panfish. So again, if you have any questions, stop by the store, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to Todd@DakotaAngler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And finally, folks, I want to remind you of the ongoing sale that we have here at the store. And if you're looking for shacks, augers, electronics, clothing, it is all on sale at unbelievable prices. You're not going to find it cheaper anywhere else than right here at Dakota Angler. So if you have any questions about what we have left, feel free, and you can't stop on by, feel free to give us a call at 605-336-9132. We'd always love to have you stop on by and take a look at what we have here at the store. And if you have any questions, again, we'd be more than happy to help you out. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it.